Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Belinda here from Visualized NZ. Happy to see you today. I hope you're all having a fantastic day so far. Join me for a bit of crafting. This is the Sweet Moments journal that I'm putting together using the kits that I've got up on Etsy. So Sweet Moments Animal Kingdom journal page kit and the Sweet Moments Animal Kingdom ephemera kit. They're both on Etsy if you're curious to go and check those out. So I'm up to the final stage, which may be more than one video, we'll see, of filling the pockets. So we've got all the pockets and things in that we need, and I need to fill those. So we've got a fabric clip here. Now I've been through this morning, and I've been through numerous times trying to work out what I want where, until I got to the point where I just need to start and it will all come together, because my brain is not quite with it at the moment. I'm calmer than I was in yesterday's video, but I'm still a bit all over the place. So first up, we have this little flip down here where we've got writing space, and we've filled the top pocket, we've filled this little pocket, but we've still got to put something in this pocket here. So I thought, as part of the kit, there is this small CD type envelope, and I thought, why not tuck that in that pocket? So I'm going to go ahead and fold it. I'm not decided yet on whether I'm going to glue it up or leave it so that it can be opened out. Yeah, not sure which way I want to go on that. So let's just fold it up first. Oh, I didn't fold it properly at the bottom. I was wondering why I had a gap there. Oops, a little bit tricky now that I've already creased it on the wrong place. That's okay. Here we go. Good as new. You can't even actually tell where I had that other crease, which is good. So the weekend's nearly upon us, isn't it? The weeks are just going so fast. I don't know what's up with our weekend this weekend. I think we might be doing a bit of shopping, maybe, because there's a few things I need from a shop that I can't get locally. So we'll need to go sort of halfway to the city type thing. Now, do I want to glue it together? Let's check that it fits first, because, you know, that would be a good thing to do, wouldn't it? Check that it actually fits in there. And yes, it does. Yay. One battle down. We've already got this envelope in the top, which has got things in it. So I'm thinking about just leaving this as being able to open out, write on it, then close it back up and tuck it back in. So yes, I'm not going to glue it, but I think I will just pop a little decoration of some sort on it. And I've just eyed these at the top of my desk. A little bit of faux washi. Kind of like that, just something a little bit contrasty, which is good. So we're going to just kind of be finishing off some ephemera, or making some ephemera to fill the pockets. I'm not sure whether we'll get the journal finished or not, but we can try. We can just see how it goes. I'm going to be using a lot of the ephemera from the kit, so that's going to save some time. Just some of it needs backing or decorating, and some of it doesn't. And then there is one big journal card I want to make for the belly band, which I'll need to do from scratch. Pop that there. And do we want an animal, or do we want flowers, or a label? It's got stuff everywhere here. Label, a label with flowers. It's pretty, but I'm not sure. Could put a word. So many options. Let's just explore all the options. It's not really the right colour. This is cute. I really love this one with the wee chicks. It says memories. I actually like that. Let's do that. Okay, give it some of our Shabby Shutters ink. Close my glue so it doesn't clog up. I'll be back into it in a second, but only takes a second for it to dry in the nozzle. That Shabby Shutters shows up really nicely on there. And I want to put a book page. If I can find my packet. Here we go, right at the back. Or a bit of music maybe. Okay, the process has begun where I end up with heaps of stuff on my desk. Yes, I like that. Just give it a quick wee ink around. I'm going to leave that straight edge. Usually I'll tear it off, but in this case I'm going to leave it. I think it's fine. And I'm not in the mood to grapple with glue stick and sticky pages, so I'm probably mostly going to use my tacky glue. Yeah, I'm not in a mood for mucking around. As much as my head is definitely mucking around at the moment, it's making it very hard to sort of process things and organize things and get things sorted, because it's just all over the place. And it's even worse today in some respects because I didn't sleep very well last night, and not because my head was all over the place, funnily enough, but because I was cold and I can't sleep when I'm cold. And because my husband and I, with everything going on, had both forgotten to put the electric blankets on, so we hopped into a cold bed and I was just cold, and it takes me a long time to warm up, so I had to go to sleep with my electric blanket on, only on low, so don't panic, it's okay, and then wake up, you know, later on and turn it off once I'm all good. I tried to sleep without it on, but I just could not sleep. And because I couldn't sleep, it's boring. You know, it's boring when you can't sleep. And I find it stresses me out because I just worry that I'm not sleeping. I know, it's crazy, but that's what happens. I do it every single time when I can't sleep. So to distract yourself from panicking about not sleeping, you use your brain to think about things. So then your brain activates, and then you can't sleep because your brain is thinking, you know, not conducive to sleep either. So it's kind of a vicious cycle. So I'm short on sleep, I'm a bit tired, my brain is still frizzled from the news I got yesterday. If you haven't watched yesterday's video, I talk about it there. But I've been called up for surgery, so it's put a bit of the cat among the pigeons in terms of timing. I've been waiting on it for years, and now it's next Friday, and I have no videos prepared ahead of time. I've got heaps and heaps of things I need to do for Patreon, for digital kits that I wanted to release before then. My newsletter needs to go out on the 1st, which is the day before the surgery. So hopefully I'll get everything done, and hopefully I'll get some videos done ahead of time. but we'll just have to see. I make no promises, unfortunately. I would love to cover the entire time I'm away. And it's not just the time I'm in hospital, I realised. But when I come out, I've got to have my foot, because it's ankle surgery, I've got to have my foot raised all the time when I'm sitting. And I can't sit at my art desk with my foot raised. So I don't know. I may not be able to record videos for a while after surgery. So yeah, that's... My head is just like trying to grapple with everything and trying to grapple just with what I need to get done between now and surgery next Friday. So a little bit calmer than I was yesterday, but still quite feeling discombobulated. Right, there you go. Tucked in there, nice and safe. Let's just tuck that back under there. It's definitely chunky, and it's going to get chunkier. So we've got this here in this pocket. This was from Roxy's weekly challenge that I made this with writing space, and then it's got a journal card. It is a little bit bendy because it's made from tracing paper, but I think over time with being in the journal it will resolve. But we have to fill this little pocket down here, and I'm pretty sure... Oops, just popping things to the side and hoping it doesn't all fall down on me. We could put a little like label in there. Actually, I like this idea. I do. I think I'm just going to put a few little bits of ephemera that can be used by the owner to decorate. And then there's this tiny wee mini tag, which I think is so cute. Love it. Do we want that? I might have somewhere else actually for that. So let's go with this cutie. I love this. That's so cute. So just a couple, 3 labels in there that fills that pocket. Good, we're making progress. Now this pocket, if you watched the last video, I had 2 tags in here that were the same, from the same make, with the same background and same style. And I thought actually I'd prefer to have 2 different ones. So I'm going to put one of the kit tags in there instead. But I just need to back it because it's only on photocopy paper. So let's do that. Should not take too long. Just put that wee tag back in before I lose it. Bit of brown packing paper. Yes, that's the right size. Now I will use glue stick for this, but I'm just going to glue stick the middle and then use the tacky glue around the edges. So I'm not getting messy by going over the edges with the glue stick. Not to say that I still won't get sticky, because you know, I probably will, because I'm using glue. And this is quite a tall tag. I'm not sure whether I want to put a topper on. We'll back it and then check it in the pocket as to whether there's space for a topper to go on. I'm just going to add a little bit in the middle as well of the tacky glue. Give it a good press down. And to top it all off, today we had to take our youngest cat, Georgie, to the vet. Nothing's wrong with him, he's okay, but we got him neutered this morning, and he's never been to the vet before, and he's never been in a cage before, never had to stay inside before, so it was all a big adventure for all of us. He coped really, really well though, and I've heard already from the vet he's had his little procedure done, and he came through like a champ, and he's now in recovery and doing well, so that's great news. Because we were super nervous about it, because he's not a kitten anymore, he's a cat, and we've never had a cat done so old, but because he was a stray, and then we just couldn't afford to get it done because it's quite expensive. It's taken longer to get him done than what we would have liked, and it was getting to a point where it's critical because he's a male cat, and to curb some of the aggressive tendencies a tomcat can have. He's not aggressive at all, but you know, they can go that way. We needed to get him done, so he has now been done, and that's been, you know, big thing on my mind today as well, is getting him into the cage for the first time and getting him down to the vet, and not feeling like a total complete meanie. It's so hard when they don't understand. It's like children, isn't it? You know, human children, they don't really understand when they've got to take medicine for their own good or something. Right, so I could put a topper on. What I might do is use one of the wee tabs. This is one of the freebies that was sent out with my May newsletter, this month's newsletter. So, do I want this one? I've got two. I've already used one. There's three, and I've used one. Do I want that one or that one? I think I want this one. It will need to be trimmed down a bit to fit the top of the tag, which is quite all right. I'll give it an ink, and then I'll just re-ink where I trim off bits. And I should ink the tag while I'm here as well, shouldn't I, before I put the topper on? Good thinking. Glad you reminded me. So yeah, that's what's going on in my world. That seems like, you know how you go along and it's just cruisy and you've got everything under control, everything's just flowing, and you know what you've got to do when you've got to do it, and you kind of have your schedule set, and then something flies up and suddenly your schedule goes out the window, because all the things that I have coming up for the beginning of June, I need to get done in the next week. Like, I can't leave them to the last minute. I can't do them in the first few days of June because I'm going to be recovering from surgery. So it's like everything's concertinaed on me, and I feel like I am running out of time, which I am. And as fast as I think of things that I need to get done, it's as fast as more things get added to the list. And it seems the more that gets added to the list, the slower I actually move. It's like I've gone in reverse. It's just, I can't deal, people. I really just can't deal at the moment. I've just got to keep one foot in front of the other, keep moving, and ask for your patience and forgiveness for anything that is either late or just doesn't happen until, you know, whenever I can get back to things. But please, please don't abandon me. Don't leave me. I'll be back. Actually, I don't think I am going to trim that. I think that's fine. Straight across. It's a bit curly because of the glue stick. That's okay. It will flatten out. I'll give it a bend back in a moment when I've glued this on. And kind of, to be honest, all I want to do is hide my head and just kind of ignore everything. But I can't do that. I've got to do stuff. And I would get bored if I just hid my head and did nothing. I would be so bored. I'm going to find it tough not being able to do crafty things for a bit. I'm sure I'll find a way, even if it's just like doing colouring on the couch or something. I'm sure I'll find a way. probably quite nice actually to do some of the things I don't have time for normally, but which are perfect when I'm incapacitated. Right, so there we go. Do we want to add anything to that? I do love these tags. I think they're super pretty, just as they are. But we could add, oh, I like that. Nurture your heart. We've already got text, so we don't really need text under it. Give it a bit of ink while I think. Just because I've got a little few white edges showing that I didn't trim off properly, so a bit of ink will hide that. I think that's all it needs. Just a word or a sentiment. We label. Here we go. And in the pocket. Now, do I want it in the front or the back? I think I want it in the back. Here we go. 2 big tags. Excuse me, I just need to take care of my nose for a moment. Usual story, the cold's making it a bit runny. Right, next. Okay, this is the tag that I had in that last pocket, and I've just popped it in here with the journal card in this pocket, and I quite like the butterfly showing through. So it could go behind, but I quite like it in front there. So that's where that's going to live, and that's where I used the other tab. Right, now this side is quite plain. This folds out and we have writing space here. It's just an old envelope. And I thought it would make a really good place just to tuck in a wee journal card. So this is one from the kit, the Ephemera kit. And just tuck loosely in there. I'm not going to back it. I'm just going to, it is on presentation paper, so it's slightly heavier than photocopy paper. And that's just going to stay there quite nicely, I think. But I do want to decorate this a little bit because it's quite plain, isn't it? Don't like that it covers half the fox's face. So what else? That's quite pretty. We could use flowers here instead. What I might do is pull out my flowers from Artsology. Sorry, I thought I better not talk while I'm facing away from the camera, which I tend to do, but you know, try not to. Okay, I'm going to put that there. I mean, this can be written on, so I don't want to completely cover the whole thing, but I do want to decorate it. I have some scraps here from test prints that I printed off. You know, something was wrong with them. So I'm wondering about using a little bit of that. Where's the birdie gone? Where have I put him? Oh, there he is. He was hanging out with the flowers. I would prefer if it was round this way, but it's not. Yeah, let's do that. Just to give it a bit of something. And I might as well use up these scraps from the test prints. So I've torn out the bits that I can still use and had to throw away the bits that I couldn't, because in this particular instance I'd printed it out with the watermark on it, and like it was right across everything, so I can't use the bits with the watermark. But I just tore out little scraps around the outside of the watermark. That wasn't part of a critter. Like there's a little ear there, but you wouldn't know it's an ear. I just know it's an ear. Right, give this a little bit of ink, I think. So yeah, if something prints weirdly, or you know, don't throw it out. Tear out bits of it that are still usable for collage and put them in your collage bin or bag, or however you organize your bits and pieces. Yep, that's lovely. So I did say they're from Artsology, didn't I? These flowers. I think I did. But just in case I didn't, they're from Artsology on Etsy. Probably quicker to do with the glue stick, but never mind. Oh gosh, I had breakfast earlier than normal this morning because we had to take Georgie to the vet by 8:30. And so now my stomach's going, I'm hungry. And it is almost lunchtime, so I guess that's okay. We're not going to get this done in this video. Nope, we're not. I'm going to have to do another video, but the next video might be it. Okay, so we've got that peaking, so there's still writing space, which I like. We could put something over here. Could put a little bit of just a bit of the faux washi just to give it a little edge. I don't think so. And here, oops, we've got a bird. Or we could go with our fox. I think our bird takes up more real estate. We've got a squirrel. It's super cute. I quite like that actually. Do I prefer the bird? No, I'm going to go with the squirrel. I need to make decisions. But I do need something behind it, and I think I want to ink it up. So do tell me how your day's going. I'd love to live vicariously through your calm, peaceful, in control, regular days. You know, to me that actually sounds pretty good at the moment, and I'll get back there. I know I will. It's just at the moment we're a little bit in Panicville. Just looking for a bit of book page. Here's a bit of children's book page. It's all nice and yellowy. It's quite fragile. It's actually cracked down there, so all nice and crunchy. Just to put a little accent under there. I better be careful inking it, because I think I'll just end up tearing it if I go too hard. Something nice about crunchy paper. Certainly has more limited uses because of its fragility, but it's just, I don't know, something lovely about the feel of it. Invites you to take care with it. Or alternatively, just to rip it up because you know it's almost there on its own. And you're going to stick it down and then it's going to be preserved. I quite like what it says. It's, boy is tapping, little girl with ribbons and wrist bells. So I think that's quite pretty. So this will just take away all that white space and still leave us a lot of writing space. So best of both worlds. Let's try that one again. I highly doubt that I will have this journal available for sale before my surgery. So if you're interested in it, just, you know, get in touch and we'll see what we can do. Because my hubby will still be available to do posting, and my friend has offered to take things to the post office as well. But I just won't be sitting at the computer and doing listings or anything. I don't imagine. Who knows? Okay, so I think I'm just going to leave that side. It's just writing space. Open it out, write in it. Sweet. Okay, moving on. How are we going for time? Oh, we're not too bad. I think my hunger's going to get to me before we run out of time. Right, so we've got this big pocket which already has a journal card in it, but I did make it into a pocket behind. So I'm going to add this into the back pocket. I just need to back it. So we'll grab out our bit of brown packing paper again. Yep, still plenty big enough. Do the same technique with the glue stick and the tacky glue. I think if I was functioning, if my head was functioning properly, I suspect I might have actually accomplished getting this done today. Maybe. Although I'm not the world's speediest crafter. We all know this. I love to think and ponder and change my mind half a dozen times. It's just how I roll. How I work. I enjoy the process. So it's like, why rush it? And I know sometimes I do, just because I feel there's something going on that makes me feel rushy. But I do just prefer to just do it as I feel led, relax and enjoy. I mean, that's why we craft, isn't it? Because we enjoy it. This one, do I want to put a tab on it? Don't think I will on this one. Oops, I've got some white around the edge, so I definitely need to give it some ink. I'm not sure if I inked the back of the other one I did of these. I have to go back and check. I can do that off camera though. Oh yeah, I've got quite a few white edges. In fact, that needs trimming off a bit better. Yeah, that's better. Okay, ink. And my thumb's a bit sore because I put some wood away in the woodshed yesterday and ended up with half a tree hanging out my thumb. And it was okay at the time. Like, it was hurt, obviously, but I got the splinters out. I'm not sure if I got all of it out because it was several strands all poking out my thumb. But later in the evening it started getting quite sore and it got a bit of red, so I suspect there might still be a bit in there. It's not looking bad today, but it's, you know, I can feel it. I can feel it's just a little bit tender. So hopefully I did get everything out and it's not going to fester or anything. Right. I don't think I'm going to put anything on that, not at the moment. It does, I don't know if you can see that, pop out the top, but because the cover's so wide, it's still within the cover. Tall, wide, whatever. Extends past the journal pages is what I mean. Okay, we've reached the middle, so we're halfway there. Okay, this little pocket, so I made these in the last video on this journal. Well, I didn't make them, I put them in there, and we added this, and I've just got this pocket here at the front, and I thought this tag from the kit would look quite lovely in there, and I like the colours together. Do I want to back it? Probably should. Is this little bit of paper? Yep. Glue stick. Hey, Puss. Puss is now having his breakfast at lunchtime because we couldn't feed Georgie for his operation, so we had to put the food away. So none of the cats got fed until after we'd dropped Georgie to the vet. And then Puss didn't show up. He didn't come back in for breakfast, and I was calling him, so he must have been a wee way away doing something. So he's only just now turned up and he's eating his breakfast now, because I put it out for him. Thought, well, if he turns up when I'm, you know, doing something or in a different room or whatever, then I want him to be able to eat. So now he's eating, so he'll be a happy boy. He was probably just off sleeping somewhere, actually. He's an old boy now. Oh, I have to tell you, Georgie, our youngest, the one we took to the vet this morning, he's long. Like, he's really super long in the body and super long legs and a super long tail. He's a long boy, and the vet, when she took him out of the cat carrier, says, oh, he's a big boy. And I don't see him as big so much as long and tall. But anyway, she popped him on the scales, and he weighs 5.1 kilos. Like, that's the heaviest cat we've ever had. And he hasn't got an ounce of extra flesh on him. He's long and lean. He's just long and tall, but heavy. I did not know he was that heavy. It took me by surprise. You know, normally our cats are around 3.5 kilo. I guess maybe because he hasn't been fixed until now, he's you know, put on some weight. But gosh, 5.1 kilo. I was shocked. He is a big boy. He's a, you know, he must have solid bones or something. But yeah, it's funny when he's asleep and really relaxed, and he rolls on his back and he's got his tummy to the ear, and he's just so long. And he's so cute, so adorable. He's just a sweetheart. Right, I think I will add a word or a label or something to this one, just because. Cherish. Let's pull out some options, and then I can put my bin back and you can actually see what I'm doing. Sound like a plan? I think I want a little smaller. Okay, that should be enough to choose from. So let's have a look, see which one we might like. Nope, that's okay. Quite like that one as well. No. I like that one, or do I like that one better? Or I think I actually like that one. Let's go with gentle. Okay, decision made. Sponge. So I still need to do the closure. I have in mind what I'm going to do with the closure, but I just haven't tested it to see whether it's going to work. It's not something I've ever done before. So I'm not sure that I'll do that on camera because it might take a bit of thinking about. We'll see how we go. Okay, so that's that one done. I'm not going to add a tab. I think it's fine as is. Right, here we need coffee dyed paper. I'm just going to pop these labels back in the tray. I'm actually thinking about doing a journal card. So I need to cut this down. I'm going to go with coffee dyed grid paper just for fun. I do need to lose one of the cool edges though, so maybe we'll lose this one down the bottom. How much do we need to take off? I should work that out first. Probably about at least there. It's handy with a grid because you can kind of use it to measure against. Nice scrap there. Okay, so this is just folded in half. It was going to be a journal page, but to fit in this pocket we need to fold it so it's narrower, and I think from memory a triple fold is about the right size. So let's hope that works. So we do have that crease, but that's okay. It's not going to affect the use of the paper. Just the extra writing space. There we go. So that tucks in there. I think I would like to put a journal card for something different. Because we've got coffee dyed paper in these pockets. Oh, I did want to decorate those. I just remembered. What would we like? Could put a heart. Got little flowers. I realise those colours don't necessarily all go together. I think it's this one that's jarring me. Oops, get in. Is it going to be... That would actually work. But I think the composition wasn't pleasing me because like they need to be diagonal from each other or all centered, and this is too tall to go in the center. So if we pop that there, that could go in the middle, and then the basket could go to the side there. Okay, I like that. Let's get to the ink, decorate it up. So I will probably make a journal card for that pocket in another video because we're going to run out of time. So I'll decorate these 3 little pockets up, and then I'll check the time and see how we're doing. Right, I think a little bit of book page or something. Little bit of recipe book. No, don't like it. It's going in the bin. I did a rash thing. I threw it in the bin. How about a bit of Wuthering Heights? Yep. That makes me happier. I think the colour of it's better. So I'll have to find another scrap of this because I've only got enough for 2 pockets out of this little piece. Come on, come out. There we go. This needs to be glued down. It suffered a slight crease right at the narrowest point. Must have got caught up on something. I hope I'm on camera, guys. Please excuse me if I'm not. I think mostly I am, but if I've had a slip here or there where I'm not on camera, please forgive me. Now I could have cut out the spaces in between, but that's quite fiddly. So I'm going to go in with the ink and just give it a bit of green. Oh, I like that. I think that looks better actually than having cut out the middle bits. And a whole lot less fiddly and time consuming as well. Might as well do the basket while we're here. And we need to grab another bit of this book page. The book is behind me that I took it from, so I can always just grab the book itself if I can't find another scrap of this. Just grab a new page. Right, so we'll stick this one down before we worry about no, I think I like it centered. Don't mind me, I'm just fiddling around. If I put it off to the side, it was going to ruin my composition again and make things unbalanced. So, and it talks about agony, so I'm going to make sure that the heart covers over that word. Don't need agony in our journals, do we? Not at all. You want happy thoughts, and you know, you can write your real feelings, but you don't want to put negative feelings down on the page that don't need to be there in a journal that you might want to purchase. No, we do not. So let's cover that word up, and it doesn't exist. It does not exist anymore. Okay, now we need another scrap, don't we? I mean, it doesn't necessarily need to be the same book page. I just think I would like it to be the same. I think hunting for a scrap of it may be like a needle in a proverbial haystack. Maybe quicker just to grab a new page. Okay, grab a new page. Easy peasy. Right. It's old book, but it's also a cheaply produced book. So the paper actually doesn't feel that nice. It's sort of quite rough and dry. Not wanting to tear nicely. Kind of want it squarish, like the others are squarish. There we go. Right, and thinking too whether I want to add a word or something, or words onto these wee pockets. Because the things in the pockets are quite plain, they're just coffee dyed bits of paper. Then you can sort of play a bit more with the outside of the pockets, I feel like. Oh, there's never any oh, what's the word? I don't even know what word I'm looking for. There's never any problem with adding more decoration, is there? Like, let's be honest. We can just decorate until we don't want to decorate anymore. Do I want words? No, I don't think I do. I think that's, yeah, I think that's lovely as is. Okay, so need to do a journal card for the, how are we going on time? Oh yeah, we're almost at time. That one's done. We need to do a journal. Okay, for this one, I'm just going to tuck in this postcard. That's from the kit. That's one that I've backed with the backing. That's also part of the kit. I do need to ink it, but I'll ink it. Well, I've got time to ink it now, so let's just take care of that, and then it's done. And I'm just going to tuck that into the pocket. So it's quite thin. It is presentation paper. It's a little heavier than photocopy paper, but it's still relatively thin. But that's not a bad thing, you know. Keep some of the weight down where we can, some of the thickness, bulkiness of the journal. Here we go. And I quite like the cat with the bird. Just a little bit of playfulness there. Okay, so these two little tags are going to go in here. Let's just quickly ink them up, because I don't think I'm going to back these. Again, I'm just going to leave them light, but we do need to do a journal card for the back. So we've got 2 journal cards so far that we need to do. And I'm just thinking, do I want to add anything to these 2 little tags? Actually, I'm thinking about just adding some stenciling to the back, which could be quite nice. I'm rushing now. I'm trying to get things done before I stop the video. Sort of leave it in a logical place, I guess, because my brain needs all the help with organising that it can get at the moment. Let's quickly grab out a stencil. So they're not very big, so we just need something little. Actually, I'm going to use this. This is leftover from die cutting, so it's just paper. It's the kind of thing that you use, you know, maybe a few times if you're lucky, and then you just throw it away because it's going to get torn and damaged and what have you. It's actually got holly berries and holly leaves, but I'm going to try and go for just the normal sort of leaves. And there's a fern there as well. Around the other way. So this is a good thing to do, you know, if you don't have stencils, you can use your die cut waste as a stencil. It's just a temporary disposable stencil. There, I like that. That just adds a little something. And I'm just randomly placing them. I mean, it wouldn't matter if I did the berries and the holly leaves. Wouldn't matter at all. But I'm trying to avoid them. Actually, I'm going to do that holly leaves because I got part of it there, so I thought I might as well just do the rest. Yeah, lovely. And it didn't take very long. And I haven't inked around this one, have I? Oh, yes I have. Just doesn't. Or did I only do the back of this one? It doesn't look like I did this side at all. Anyway, right, so they're going to go in here, in this little pocket here, and this little pocket in behind it, and then we'll put a journal card there. And that one's done, and then I need to do the journal card to go behind the belly band. So we've got 3 journal cards to do, so that sounds like another video, doesn't it? And I've got to still resolve the closure. So thanks so much for joining me today. Thank you for listening to me rabbit on about everything that's going on in my life. I hope I didn't bore you to tears with my ramblings. Thanks so much for joining me. I really appreciate you being here. Take care, everybody, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.